We are all so manipulated that we do not notice that this world was not created by God the wise and true, but by a false god, in the form of the angels, which left heaven. Today some call them Satans, or in other words, races of beings in the galaxies. Satan, the robe of this world, can also love, but differently. He is wise, scientific, and almost never forgives. He is fierce. Hopefully, until beyond this earth, much more terrible things are happening. The kingdoms of these angels are comforts, conveniences, state-of-the-art technologies and balls of hatred. The earth has already freed itself from them somewhat, through such emissaries from heaven as Jesus was, in a way a good friend of all rebellious scientists. But there were others before him, who helped in the understanding of life. Jesus is one of many heavenly envoys. Recently there was Father Pio, camouflaged in a church, a religious order, pilloried by authority, rules and with his hands tied. He said very great things, but only in person to some prepared to do so. Most often in the confessional. The Church has no green idea about Padre Pio, nor about St. Francis of Assisi, nor many other emissaries from heaven similar to Jesus. All of them, after time, had their resumes changed and views. And there is little we can learn outside the official knowledge of the Church. If someone would like to pursue religion, I highly recommend Catholicism, despite everything. Because it is the most appropriate religion for 2000 years. Words of Father Pio, based on love of God and neighbor, and it is possible to live in it, while growing in virtue, goodness and tolerance. And it frees us from hatred, greed and ignorance. Love after Catholicism effectively cures our soul blemish. Catholicism is not only Jewocracy, but there are many wonderful, holy people there. Not necessarily named saints. Catholicism helps transform through the gift of reincarnation of the chosen people into positive people, without ambitions of power and terror, into respectful people, friendly to this planet, ecologically oriented, even in these hopelessly difficult conditions of intellectual and material existence, and material. Let's ask the question, why is it so difficult to get out of this cosmic madness, galactic, heavy labor cause? In my opinion, there is very simple answer to this. That's because someone intelligent and at the same time terrible, through his manipulated followers, controls everything here, our births, reactions, knowledge, and even tries to take possession of us me feelings. Another question, what would be his purpose in doing so? Answer 1, lack of power. The lack in the universes of the divine perpetual motion machine. This is the reason. One has learned to draw power and energy from the divine soul, which can be modified or put to death, so that this world, beautiful and flimsy at the same time, can still exist. Only the question is why. Jesus knew the answer to that. Someone cares about being God number 2. And here is the reason for of our birth, life and death, because from this convoluted life one must draw energy to sustain the existence of the fallen cosmos. And in order for at the expense, not only, but also at the expense of other living beings, for them to live here like in paradise. In the name of their own convenience and power, they destroy everyone and everything, and at the same time they sustain this chaos into existence, so that it produces invisible energy, derived from pain and pleasure. That's how it is here, unfortunately. Those who have eyes, sees this problem. But not everyone manages to decipher it. Let me remind you, we too were those powerful beings of evil, the angels after coming out of heaven, and now we were thrown out of the paradise of pleasure, science and progress to be executed, because we began to return to the love of the one Father Mother. We escaped them with our faith and intuition, our desires for divinity and eternal life. We were thrown to the edge of the rich galaxy, currently on this planet. The saints have shown how it is possible to end this cosmic life positively, through total love and purity of intention. The woodpecker taps on the tree, and the worm cries. Because the woodpecker created by another god, the worm by another. Competition against heredity and nature. Such frivolous are the gods, creators of hopeless nature as we know it. In creating the differences of animals and nature, they have forgotten how it was in heaven, or do not want to even hear about it. This is called hubris. The hypocrisy of one's inner medium, the sacrum. We have all the densities in and around us. But the soul is not subject to any of them. She is above this and that. With light and colorful love one can overcome everything, all densities, all heavens of fallen angels, therefore galaxies and those dimensions that we try to scientifically even name. Explaining all this through theories of strings, spins, photons, quanta, vortices, membranes, matrices, etc. Theories and practices change like in a kaleidoscope, the soul remains the same. Thought still exists even without science, the body performs movement as it did billions of years ago. Nothing changes. The digestive system functions and will continue to function as long as this planet, and many others, cease to exist. What is our development? It should not be, because we were created complete. It was the whim of hubris that caused these anomalies that we now claim knowledge and various resources, because we have lost almost everything. In the original they did not matter, because everything was complete and free. I hope that we will return to heaven. Jesus brought this knowledge and faith, refreshed it. My constant, daily food is only the spell of contentment and happiness. Otherwise it is difficult to live. Although suffering always prevails in this earthly system, the body is not so important. The body dries up over time, like water in a byre. What matters is the overflow of the soul into the reality that with our eyes we see. And this enchants us for the time being. But after the physical body falls away, our original body will appear, whose senses are purely heavenly. These only give happiness unlimited. The physical cells deceive us, they obscure everything. As long as time we are so fused with the body that we can't imagine life without it. Well, we are born here, and other cosmic manipulators help us with it. About liberation we have completely forgotten. For every soul heaven means something different, the words of Padre Pio. But the differences are not our differences, so great that they spread love in spades. Enchantments, and that means a splendor of variations, as in music. Love is different, and everyone loves it like crazy. So many delights with her, pleasant moments spent, so much wine drunk for two, flowers, perfumes, pretty lines on dam's eyelids, beautiful tattoos, so many spontaneous dances and kisses. So much wonderful poetry, pictures painted with gestures, so much mystical marijuana. This is how heaven manifests itself, simply, and differently, with full grace and the craft of self-control, so as not to launch too much and not cause distaste in the intimacies of souls. The soul, it is worth knowing, always has a body, even on earth. Soul? Body, heaven. It is an inseparable unity. Even God possesses a body. But who would think about it? We don't know how to observe it yet. Would God be limited by schemes? Common sense tells us that the opposite is true. That's why so cowhide God, because we expect everything from Him, the satisfaction of all our fantasies, whatever they may be. The point is to make everyone happy. In their own unique way, without limitation.